Hello everyone, my name is Shade. I am going to do some Blight today. I'm currently level 99, at 99%, and this is generally how I get to level 100 very safely, pretty much SSF, although this is not an SSF league. I just tend to do things on my own. I don't like to do much group play. So I find that I need to do something pretty safe and something I can do pretty much on my own. And to do this, I do Blight, or specifically Blighted maps. I try to get to tier 16, but generally tier 15 is actually a little bit better. You can buy tier 15 maps from trade for about 7 to 8C per map. But if it's tier 16, you'll end up paying double that, about around 14 to 15 chaos. So tier 15 is better, and the XP loss from tier 15 to 16 is completely negligible. So I find tier 15 to be much better and much more cost effective. So for obviously the usual stuff, so we're going to quality it up. And then I'm going to apply 3 Verdant oils to get the 135% increased XP gain. You can do other oils, but obviously this is for XP, so it's just what we want. From here, we just roll it as normal, and we're going to check the map modifiers. Hopefully not something too bad. The increased movement speed, attack speed, and cast speed can be difficult, but I'm going to give that a go. We've also got unique bosses, which does apply to the blight bosses, I think. So this could be difficult, but we'll give it a go. Lastly, you can corrupt it, but I don't do that because it can brick the modifiers if you get something like Reflect. I don't like doing that. So I find this to be perfectly fine. Obviously, if you want tainted oils or something like that, you have to corrupt it, but we're just doing this for XP, so this is perfectly fine. And yeah, let's give it a go. So I generally find that this will give around about 1% per map, and that's pretty good. Because obviously if you're a fast mapper, this will be slower because you're on a set timeline with this. You've got 5 minutes when you start here, and I do just start immediately. But if you're a slow mapper or you have a slower character, this is great because you have XP completely on a set pace. And that can, if you're a slow mapper, this can be faster than that, or faster than you can clear a map. Obviously, there is some time wasted at the end as well. You can see here the extra speed is a little bit frustrating, but what we do is I'm going to wait for an area like this, and then I can empower, and I'm going to do the stun towers mixed with the frost towers, and then behind it all I'm gonna add the damage stuff.
Branching Exile.
Obviously we're gonna lay down some suppressing fire. The good thing about this is that you actually don't need a good build. This will I did this pretty much my entirety through the league, and I did it with next to just really bad gear. I have pretty good gear now because I'm almost at the end of my league.
The blight is trying to spread.
So we can see here that the grey line is not ready yet, so I'm just going to carry on here. And try and get these damage nodes up a little bit.
It's put out new mycelium.
Okay, so now it's going to spread, and we should have it pretty good here. I'm just going to try and kill this boss.
It's put out new mycelium.
There.
New roots.
Okay, and we're going to do the same over here. Hopefully. I'll do that there. Really wish we had auto gem leveling. That's pretty much
It's
staying.
branching, Exile.
Oh, perfect. So now we just do all of our usual stuff again.
The blight is trying to spread.
And I'm gonna pretty much stay in the middle here. You never want to go further than a screen away, realistically. Gonna add a fire here.
It's put out new mycelium. New roots.
And that's because the towers, if you're further than
trying
like
to
a screen or
spread.
two away, I think, they will actually deactivate, but the monsters will continue and they will rush your pump, and that would be very bad. I'm going to add another thing here. Oh, and there's our level up. So you can see we did about 4 minutes. We got the 1% there. Now level 100. Don't have to worry about dying. And if we get something like this, where it's a little bit heavier, what we can do is add in a glacial tower near the pump. This is fantastic. It will absolutely save your pump's life if something gets a little bit too close. This is pretty much done now, and I don't think much is going to get through anymore. So you can see here that this is very easy, very good XP, and hopefully in a little bit we'll be able to show some loot and hope we get something good. But once you have the tower set up like this, it's pretty much sit in the middle until it's done. I wouldn't recommend just fully AFKing it because you can get after death effects. My build is pretty good at handling stuff like the poison ball things, but if you don't have like full chaos res, then that can be a problem. So I wouldn't recommend fully AFKing it unless you're comfortable with that. In terms of in terms of enchantments on rings, I go full into empowering towers have increased range and empowering towers have increased effect. This means that my first priority is to enable this large circle with the empowering tower, which is the level 3. You do not go past level 3. Got to do that. And then you can do the stun and the cold. That will basically stun lock enemies getting anywhere near them. There's the balls there. And then the DPS, obviously, with the meteors, the chain lightning, and the scout towers is what we go for next, which essentially just destroys anything that gets stun locked inside that zone. So this is a really easy thing to do, and we can just wait for the enemies to die now, or you could just go around and kill the lost. There's always a straggler or two. There we go. And now we get some loot. Let's see what we've got. In terms of doing this throughout the league, I can honestly say this is extremely profitable as well. And as I said earlier, you can buy like a tier 15 for around 7C, 8C maybe. And if you just run the map, you're guaranteed to get that back. 100% of the time, I believe. Even with just stuff like this, there's like 2C there, which obviously doesn't sound like a lot, but quite commonly you'll get raw divine drops. I think this strategy, I get more raw divine drops than any other strategy that I have tried. I think maybe second to this is probably metamorph farming, but I don't really like metamorph, so I don't do it that much. Could be wrong, obviously, if someone has a better strategy. One of the best things in this is stacked decks. You can see that there's 7. This particular league, they're quite high at 3.6 chaos per, which means that that 7 there is 25 chaos just for that. So you can see that the map will essentially pay for itself if you did buy it for 6 or 7C. There's some more stacked decks, which is great. And last couple there. No divines or anything crazy, but I have got stuff like Voidborn reliquary keys and some really good uniques as well from it. You can do this strategy pretty much from the start of a league as soon as you've if you generally you'd focus on the Blight Atlas tree. At the moment I'm done. I'm actually doing Breach, so I can't really show you a good enough Atlas, but you just go for Blight. And I have done that when I was actually first leveling the tree. I did Kirak and Blight. But later on, because the maps are cheap to buy, you can actually just buy them for so cheap. It's actually cheaper it's actually quicker just to buy them rather than farm the maps. So up to you if you want to go SSF or full SSF if you're doing SSF and then just farm the maps. It is very quick to do anyway. It's also very safe. As you saw in the map, that was T16, 4% edge point in about 5 minutes, maybe 6 to... If you include actually getting the loot and sorting your stuff out here, maybe let's say let's just double it and say it's 10 minutes. I wouldn't say it's quite that, but it's a pretty good way to scale your wealth, I'd say horizontally, and you can get more vertical wealth with stuff like these stacked decks, which can sell easily 2 divines for 130 there, which is what I usually do. And not to mention all of the other goodies that you get. You can fully sustain map purchases with the blight maps that you actually run. Golden Oils, currently 88C, but I have sold these for 100 each. Same with these. I sold these for 40 each, and these for 15 each. Those oils, if you just get one of those, will easily purchase many more maps. The blight ravaged maps, 14, 15, and 16 tiers. These can be sold easily for 40 to 50, and then sort of 35, 40, and then maybe 30 for the tier 14s. You can run these obviously if that's what you're aiming for, but I don't really enjoy the blight ravaged ones. And as I said, if you're just trying to get XP, I think the best way is tier 15 Verdant oils and sell everything else to fully sustain that. So that's all I got. Hope you guys appreciate the video. Give it a like if you like it. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching.